could talk about this one, the thought of the FBI and feds coming in to help with the crime?
Yeah. Well, crime is becoming a real problem here in the community. We are having, there's shootings, it seems almost daily. Far too many people are losing their lives and something has to be done. Yesterday, the sheriff announced Operation Guardian, which we're happy to be a part of, and to marshal all the resources from every county department, every law enforcement agency, and community partners, most importantly, to attack this problem from several different areas, because there's no one silver bullet. Law enforcement can't solve this by themselves. There has to be a law enforcement presence, but they also need that support that can come from all the various county departments that we have. Our social workers are involved, our probation department's involved, and it also includes community partners as well. So we're just happy to be part of this collaboration. It's needed because people are literally dying almost every day in this community, and it's not, it's a tragedy anytime anyone loses their lives, and to the senseless violence, and we have to get these guns off our streets as well. And it's also, people live in neighborhoods where there's gunfire erupting daily. Their kids can't play outside. They can't be outside because they don't feel it's safe, and we have a responsibility to do something about it.
Is there any talk from the county to get the sheriffs involved earlier in this?
Oh, we've been talking about this for a long time, yeah, and we've been part of a lot of conversations around this. And I think that what you saw yesterday was a culmination of those meetings and conversations and collaborations. Operation Guardian, I think, is the right move to do here, because what it does is it takes the full collaboration. It can't just be one agency. The county, through a lot of our departments, we do a lot of work in preventative services, trying to reach youth who are at risk and get them off the streets and connect them with support services. We have our FIT team that's been mobilized, working on mental health issues. We have our impact team that's working on drug issues every day around the county, following up on every overdose that takes place in the community. So we've been involved in the preventative services, but you can't solve it just there. Law enforcement can't just do it on themselves. And those community members who've been rallying every week, almost every day and every weekend about this, they can't do it on their own. And so this collaboration, I think, is absolutely right. Yeah.
The state of emergency. Have we done that yet, or are we going
to? We're still under a state of emergency here. Our emergency declaration right now expires on July 11th, and so So July 11th is when ours expires. It's tied to an emergency order related to third-party delivery fees. If you recall, about 6 or 7 months ago, I think it was, we, recognizing that restaurants have been severely impacted, and I think we all know that. Restaurants have been one of the most severely impacted industries when it comes to the pandemic, and then people also needing to get food delivered to their homes. We put an emergency order in place tied to that state of emergency to cap those third-party delivery fees. So that is tied to the state of emergency, and so that'll all expire on July 11th, and we'll reevaluate it at that point.
The last one I have is just your thoughts on the mayor's race and the legislature.
Sure. I mean, I think, I'll start with the legislature. I think what we saw this past Tuesday was the public saying enough is enough with obstruction, people being obstructionist, and just, talking about power for the sake of power. We've just gone through one of the hardest 15 or 16 months this community's gone through, I think, in all of our lifetimes. We were coming out of a pandemic, an economic crisis, and people are looking for elected officials who want to work together. What we face, what we had over the last, I'd say, year or so is a legislature that isn't looking to partner, but is looking to obstruct. And voters spoke loud and clear on Tuesday that they're not looking for obstruction, they're looking for partners. We have a recovery agenda that I announced a couple weeks ago. We're looking for partnership with the county legislature, and I think this community is, and that's a result of the election as well. They're looking for partners in this recovery to focus on economic development, workforce development, public health and wellness, infrastructure investments. These are things that we have to do together. And I think if we took a lesson out of this pandemic, one of the lessons is that we can do almost anything if we're doing it together, from all different parties, politics, levels of government, community organizations. If we put all our barriers and walls aside and work together, we can accomplish anything. We just beat a global pandemic here, and we did it, and we came out of this a lot better than other places around the country and certainly around the world. And I think that now, as we shift focus to the recovery, we need to do that. And so those results are, I think, evident here in the legislature primaries. And so I'm looking forward to working with the new members in January and really accomplishing things for people. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be new leadership in the city. I spoke to Malik Evans the other day on election night, and we had a brief conversation about really pledging to work together and be partners in this, and acknowledged that the city right now, we talked about crime being a big issue in the city, economics, issues around equity and access. The city's, crying out for help right now, and we pledge to work together to be partners and really turning things around and helping folks who live in the city. And so I'm looking forward to working with him in January.
I just have one question. I believe the sheriff called his policing initiative his omnipresence. So who's going to pay for that police presence, cops on every corner? Where will that come out of the budget? How does it get broken out? We sort it out later? Or how does that
work? I mean, that's a collaboration, obviously, between the sheriff and I know all the different law enforcement agencies, so I guess we'll have to see how that plays out. But I will pledge, Monroe County will spend whatever, resources necessary that it takes because this is the #1 mission of government, is health and safety. And so we will spend whatever it takes and do whatever it takes to keep people safe. Okay?
Thanks, guys. Thank you for your time, sir.